Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Mass Effect 2. In the last episode we came here to the Citadel and had a characteristically unproductive meeting with the Council, but we did meet Kasumi, the Master Thief, and she talked about a heist to steal back a grey box, which is basically a store of neural signals and memories and emotions and whatnot from her former partner that was stolen by a man named Donovan Hawk. This episode we're going to be doing that mission. It's a wonderful heist and it's one of my favourite missions in the game. I'm so excited for this one. So without further ado, here is Planet Beckenstein. He's a theoretical physicist, I believe Beckenstein was. The recipient of the first wave of Earth's colonization efforts, Beckenstein's founders had a decidedly less agrarian plan than Eden Prime. The mission of Beckenstein's first colony was to become Earth's off-planet manufacturing base, ingratiating humanity into galactic culture by producing needed goods. Meeting with mixed success for the first generation, Beckenstein then leapfrogged its competition by producing high-quality luxury goods that went straight to the nearby markets via the Citadel. Today, Beckenstein is known as the Humans' Ilium, a place where new money tycoons flaunt their wealth and the have-nots are rarely spoken of. We've not been to the planet Ilium yet. It's kind of, well, it's the equivalent of this, but for the Asari, it's their kind of rich place. But the Ilium is also a part of the digestive tract. It's where the end of the stomach by the pancreas connects to the small intestine. Not spelled quite like that, I-L-E-U-M, I think, but talking about the Humans' Ilium is very amusing for that reason. For some reason, we can scan this planet, and it's depleted. There's absolutely nothing on it. Don't know why they give you that option. Usually with, like, shitbags. With populated planets, they usually don't let you scan them, so that was kind of weird. Maybe an oversight in DLC? Who knows? Either way, let's, well, we need to fly back over, apparently, and land on planet Beckenstein. So, interesting thing about this mission. It's only me and Kasumi. No one else. I've got a few more points, so I'm going to put 3 into Disruptor Ammo, which gives us now the nice thing of it overheats people's weapons when we hit them with Disruptor Ammo, which is quite nice. Kasumi, her major ones at the moment are Overload, which we've already seen, and Shadow Strike, which is new. Cloak can sneak behind a target to deliver a devastating blow. So she basically turns invisible, appears behind them, wallops someone in the spine with her Omni tool, and then appears back where she was before. It's brilliant. So I'll give 3 points into that, 3 points into Overload, and then 2 into Master Thief, which is just a class 1 that just makes her a bit better at everything.
Looking good, Miss Allison Gunn. Hawk won't be able to keep his eyes off you.
I assume Allison Gunn is my cover?
You run a small but talented band of mercs out in the Terminus systems. Precisely the type of person Hawk respects. I took the liberty of giving you a reputation. Papers, witnesses, article in Badass Weekly. Just don't start talking business with him, and you'll be fine.
Remind me, what kind of man are we dealing with?
Hawk's a weapons dealer and smuggler. He killed my partner and stole his gray box. Other than that, he's not so bad. Rich, charismatic, willing to crack open a man's skull to get at the neural implants inside.
Take it I'm wearing this getup for a reason?
You'd look really out of place at a society party in armor, don't you think? You look great. You should wear this stuff more often.
Can't be coincidence that that line occurs with just a massive boob shot. I don't know if she says that to Male Shepherd or not. If you're Male Shepherd during this, you get a tux rather than a dinner jacket. Anyway.
Now's probably a good time to fill me in on the details.
You have been waiting patiently. Our friend Hawk is throwing a party for his closest friends. A couple dozen of the worst liars, cheaters, and mass murderers you'll ever want to meet. All bringing gifts as a tribute to the man himself. Our tribute is a lovely statue of your old friend Saren, rendered with loving detail and filled to the brim with our weapons and armor. You can keep your pistol as long as it's concealed. They won't hassle you over a sidearm. Once inside, we'll make our way to Hawk's vault door, somewhere in the back of the ballroom. Then, we case the security and start peeling away the layers. The statue should be there, waiting for you to crack it open and arm up. Then we just waltz into the vault and take back KG's gray box. And I'll finally get a chance to say goodbye.
You've worked really hard on this. KG must have meant a lot to you.
Was I that obvious? KG's gray box holds a lot of priceless personal memories. It's all that remains of who he was. But the secret he discovered is dangerous. I wouldn't bring you here if it wasn't.
This ought to be interesting.
That's what I'm going for. This is our stop. After you, Ms. Gunn.
Hold a moment, ma'am. There seems to be an issue with the statue.
Is there a problem here?
No, Mr. Hawk. Just doing a scan.
I don't believe we've met. Donovan Hawk.
Allison Gunn. A pleasure.
Sir, the scanners aren't picking anything up.
I don't think our guests would come all the way here from Ilium just to cause trouble. Do you? You may pass through, Ms. Gunn. You were invited after all, but I will ask your companion to remain outside. You understand, I hope.
No problem. You're the host.
Enjoy the party.
Well, that didn't go as I expected.
Any idea why he'd send you away?
No, we've never seen each other in person, and no one knows what I look like. Just watching his ass, I'm sure. I can't blame him.
What do we do now?
We go on with the plan. You'll just have to do all the talking. I'll stay out of sight and stick with you the best I can. We'll keep radio contact in case something goes wrong. We need to find the door and case the security. We'll figure out the next step then.
So, here we are in the party, and it is quite a nice place, I must say. And there's Donovan Hawk himself, engaged in conversation as well. Not a very nice man, is he? And they give him a very unpleasant sounding accent as well.
What's your read on the Archangel guy?
I hear he's dead. Or gone or something. Good riddance, I say.
Did you notice that they were talking about Archangel? A lot of the casual party conversation is based on missions you've done so far. But down here is the door to his vault. Let's have a look at what kind of security we're dealing with.
Very nice. There's more here than I expected. Password-protected voice lock, kinetic barrier, DNA scanner. Looks like an EX700 series. Everything a vault needs to be impenetrable.
This gonna be a problem?
Please, remember who you're talking to. We'll need to get a voice sample for the voice lock. You'll have to go chat up Hawk for that. We'll have to find a password too. DNA, child's play. We should find plenty of DNA samples in Hawk's private quarters. And the barrier? Cut the power. Never fails. If we can find it. KG could get through a system like this in his sleep. And I'm better. Let's get to it.
So, a couple of objectives. Get DNA, get a voice sample, cut the power on the barriers. We'll start with the power. And here's the cable coming from it.
It looks like the barrier's power cable runs under the floor. I'll set your Omni tool to scan for electromagnetic fields.
So, we can now see where the power cable is as long as we stay close enough to it, and we can follow it along. This seems like an obvious flaw in the security. Why would you not have... So you got a fancy kinetic barrier, but you can just turn the power off to it and that disables it. Surely you would have turning off the power without the right passwords or systems or something like that, have that trip an alarm. That seems like an obvious thing to do. But it's not. The cable, as you can see, leads through to this statuette.
One sec. That should take care of the barrier.
So, that's the barrier done then. Next, we have to get a DNA sample. This is somewhat more challenging. I mean, we could just go up to him and swab him, but I suspect he wouldn't take that particularly kindly. But instead, over here to the right is his private quarters.
Mr. Hawk's private rooms are off limits to guests without security clearance.
Never mind then.
Enjoy the party.
Private rooms. We need to get in there. That's the best place to find Hawk's DNA.
So, I love the fact that with proper clearance, they're like, oh yeah, sure, you can go into his private rooms. Why would you need to do that?
Hawk's vault is exquisite.
Who could know? He never lets anyone near it.
And I must say at this point, the backdrop here for Planet Beckenstein is so nice looking. Like having like the ships moving in the background and to some extent in the foreground, night over there, evening, and then the city there. It does look amazing. Like, compared to the other DLCs, they put a lot of effort into this one. It does really show. So, the private room's over there. There are two ways into it. One of these ways is a bit more interesting and involves jumping over the fence, fighting a couple of enemies, breaking in through the window, and it's all a bit kind of heavy-handed and clumsy for my tastes. Instead, what we're going to be doing is, there is an unattended datapad over there. Let's give it a read. Private Reams. No way we can sneak out of that party. The place is locked down tight and Security Chief Rowe is in charge. No way Rowe would let that get past her. I'd rather stand around bored on guard duty than risk her wrath. Sorry. Samuels.
Chief Rowe, huh? She sounds like a hard ass. If we could tap into the guard's communications, I could probably use this information.
So I guess that makes our next target is the security room, which is through here.
Commander Shepard is still alive. Really?
Oh, please. It's wishful thinking at best.
I love how no one knows what I look like.
That door goes to a security room. I'll take care of the lock. There we go.
I could bypass that. I know what I'm doing. Oh, there's another lock through here. Oh, this one I am taking care of manually. Wonderful. It does occur to me at this point that me and Kasumi are extremely similar classes, because I'm an infiltrator, so snipey and invisibly and all that kind of stuff, so we do have a lot in common.
You can't be back here.
So in here we have no choice other than to fight the guards. And my question is, where was Shepard keeping that pistol?
I have an idea. See what you can find.
There are very few places on that dress where a pistol could realistically be concealed. Anyway, let's have a look at this datapad. Nance, I have that problem too. So many passwords around here, I can't keep them straight. The password for tonight is Perugia, so it's not even that easy to remember. It's no big deal. The voice scanner means the password's only useful to Hawk anyway. After this party, want to grab some beers? Let me know. Samuels.
Got something?
The password is Perugia.
Huh. That's the name of the man who stole the Mona Lisa. Nice. I tapped their communications. I think we can get past that private room guard. Tell him Chief Rowe sent you. We still need that voice sample from Hawk.
While we're in here as well, there's a wall safe, which we can grab a ridiculous amount of credits from. 7,200. Good lord. These people really are rich. And in fairness, we are literally here doing a heist, so I might as well borrow some credits while I'm at it. I say borrow. He's a not very nice man. I don't really have much of an intention of returning them. Either way, the security bloke is over here. Let's talk to him again.
Mr. Hawk's private rooms are off limits to guests without security clearance.
I have clearance to go in.
On whose authority?
I have authorization from Chief Rowe.
Okay, 1 second. Chief Rowe, Samuels. Have you given access authorization to Mr. Hawk's private rooms?
They have access, Samuels. They'll stop bothering me.
Got it. Sorry to bother you, ma'am. Okay, you're clear to go in. Enjoy the party.
So, we can now sneak into the private rooms, which is a little bit better than, smashing in through the windows.
Look for anything we can get usable DNA from. Just make it quick and quiet.
There's some fantastic lines in here, because you can scan almost anything for DNA, including a plant.
It's clean.
It's a plant.
I just love that. It's clean. It's a plant. Of course it's clean. Let's try the keyboard. That seems like that'd be a good one.
Holographic interface. Won't find a sample here.
Goddamn future.
No DNA. Looks like Hawk's been trying to crack Keiji's gray box. Looks like he's missing something. He hasn't cracked the encryption yet.
Couch cushion?
Now a credit sheet.
A single credit. Wonderful. Pillows?
No hair, no skin flakes.
The housekeepers must be thorough.
Good morning. Time to wake up.
Sorry.
Fun fact, if you smashed in rather than sneaking in, that causes guards to come and investigate, and you have to fight them off, which is a nice little touch. Ooh, wine glass. This seems like a good one.
Not a great saliva sample, but it's still useful. We're going to need more than this for the scanner, though.
Ashtray?
Empty. Too bad. A cigarette butt would have been a good source.
Running out of things to scan. Antique weapons collection.
Dare touch treasures like this. We can get some skin cells from the dust. It's probably contaminated, though. We should find another sample.
I guess the only other thing left is the datapad. Okuda Decryption Project Update. Little progress to report. We've now completed dictionary attacks using the words and phrases from 4,800 galactic languages. Research into the Okuda family has not produced any matches. It's unlikely that a random brute force approach will produce a result within our lifetimes. Given the nature of Greybox technology, it's possible that a decryption key may not be a password at all. It could be a memory, an emotion, even a smell. The permutations could be infinite. I suggest that we begin investigating alternative methods for breaking through the security on the box.
Datapad. He seems to have obsessed over this. That should do it. Let's get out of here.
So, with that complete, that gives us only one final step of security to break through. We've got the password, we've got the DNA sample, and we've deactivated the power, but we need Hawk to say the password. Fortunately, Kasumi has a clever system involving if we get a decent enough voice print for him, we can duplicate his own voice saying the words. The word Perugia. But for that, we need to get him talking.
There he is. All you need to do is keep him talking long enough for me to get a voice print. Pull out the charm on this one, Shep. Whenever you're ready. After you.
Miss Gunn, good to see you. That scene at the door hasn't soured your evening, I hope.
I understand the security, but who would dare try to break into Donovan Hawk's home?
Gunn, in our line of work, we attract a certain element. Few understand the pains we take to keep the barbarians at bay. People these days want comfort, entertainment, love. They don't see that the galaxy is fragile. They only have to worry about simple luxuries. Why? Because people like me and you are doing the terrible things that keep the galaxy spinning. This party is for us. The cleaners, the support structure for the galaxy's gleeful delusions of peace. May there always be a market for the things we do.
I said get him talking, and you got him talking. We've got enough of a voice sample. Let him go.
Enjoy the party, Miss Gunn.
Let's go crack that voice scanner.
So, as you'll have noticed there, Fuse, you can talk to him through the normal ways, and you have to keep him interested in the conversation. Don't talk about business, don't do anything that might tip him off. But charm or intimidate, easy to lure him into making a big speech, and then there you have it.
Hawk throws a hell of a party.
Yes. I'm not too pleased with the caliber of people he's invited, though.
Snob. But yeah, even though I don't like the man, he does make somewhat of an interesting point in that speech where he's just like, yeah, people want peace and luxury and that kind of thing, and are often, especially at a party like this, quite happy to ignore the somewhat grim stuff that has to go on underneath the surface for that kind of illusion to be maintained. It's an interesting point. Anyway, we've cracked all the various bits of security on this vault, so first off, let's slap his DNA in the scanner.
DNA identification affirmed. Welcome, Mr. Hawk.
And let's use that lovely fake voice print.
Password required. Voice ID accepted. Welcome, Mr. Hawk.
Wonderful. Let's crack open the vault.
I'll check for security cams. Go ahead and get dressed.
So here we have a quick chance to change our weapons, and I'm going to get rid of the collective particle beam and switch up for the arc projector. Other than that, we're all good. Kasumi's not great on weapons, she just has machine pistol and regular pistol. Let's roll.
So this is Hawk's vault. Very nice. This scanner will hone in on the grey box. It's not far.
Also, as you may have noticed, I took this opportunity to change up my armor a little bit. Anyone who says that purple and orange isn't a wonderful colour scheme is just wrong. There's a lot of artwork here we can examine. I know where the grey box is, but I'm going to check out everything else first, because they often give some very interesting insights. For example, the actual Michelangelo's David. Missing his penis, though. Or is it a leaf on the actual one? Can't remember. Correct me in the comments.
Michelangelo's David. Just... wow. Think we could get this out through the door?
The real one definitely isn't missing a leg, and I don't think it's missing an arm either, so maybe the dick broke off as well. Let's check out this thing over here. Krogan statue.
Hawk has good taste. I'll give him that. But that might be one of the most valuable pieces here. Turian art is rare outside of Palaven. For good reason, I say.
Palaven is the Turian homeworld.
Ugh. Rachni Queen. I guess everything's valuable to someone.
Nope, those weren't the stone tablets I thought.
This looks like Quarian script. Wow. This has got to be old. When was the last time the Quarians wrote on stone? That's... impressive. Not sure what it is, though.
See, that's my kind of... If I were to be interested in modern art, which I'm not particularly, that'd be more my kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but it looks kind of cool. Whereas that thing over there doesn't look anywhere near as cool, I don't think. There's a few things up here. You might recognise this from Ilos. Had a couple of examples of these. It's called a Prothean statue. Actually just said creepy, fair. It must be noted, though, this is a slight grammatical thing. It's not a Prothean statue, though. It's a statue made by the Protheans. The first game clarifies that these are actually statues of the Inusanon, which were kind of godlike beings to the Protheans, not actually what the Protheans themselves looked like. It's also here an Egyptian statue.
I could still get money for something like this, even outside the Alliance. Asari go nuts for this sort of thing.
That's actually the bust of Ramesses II, which is currently in the British Museum in London. It's bigger than that in real life, and also its left breast, basically where my head is here, has a bullet hole in it where Napoleon's soldiers used it for target practice. Anyway, here's the head of the Statue of Liberty.
How did Hawk get Lady Liberty's head? Damn you, Hawk!
Pretty sure Damn You Hawk is a not particularly subtle Planet of the Apes reference. In the background you can see there's two what look like little mass relay things. Hopefully they're not other versions of conduits. That'd be worrying.
A model of the Kara. It's like a Turian Titanic, the way I hear it.
And finally, oh, there's two things here. There's this thing.
Wow. Imagine that thing coming at you in a dark alley.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's something from the Dragon Age series of games, which are also by BioWare, who make Mass Effect, so there's a little reference there. And then finally there's this blobby thing.
This is nice. Oddly relaxing.
Can't say it does anything for me, but, you know, art is subjective. And with that done, there's only two pieces left in here. Oh, no, there's a Krogan soldier, which I didn't look at either, apparently.
I feel like its eyes are following me. Yikes.
You can barely see the eyes on it. There's two things here. There's the grey box, and there is a Casa Fabrications Locust.
That's a Casa Locust. No, the Casa Locust. The gun that killed 2 presidents. Gorgeous. It even comes with a perfect copy, too. I'm sure Hawk won't mind if we borrow these.
This looks interesting.
So that gives us the S12B Locust SMG. And it's wonderful. I talked about this a couple of episodes ago. It makes SMGs so usable. I'll talk about it a lot in the coming episodes. But for now, let's have a look at KG's grey box.
Oh my god. There it is.
Don't bother, Miss Goto. It's code-locked. I had a feeling that was you at the door. I knew if it was really you, you'd get through anyway.
You know me. I don't like to disappoint.
I need what's in your grey box, Kasumi. You know I'm willing to kill you for it. I'll admit your skills are impressive. You got into my vault like I'd left it open, but you're still going to die, screaming, just like your old friend.
Let's see you try. This is where your special skills come into play, Shepard. Let's do this.